everyone, it is Monday, week 3 of the Artist's Way. It's 13 degrees, but it's actually feeling a lot hotter than that. So I'm just taking off my jean jacket because I've overdressed yet again. But I didn't vlog at all during week 2 of the Artist's Way. And I'm not sure why that is. The week just got away from me. I was in a little bit of a mood last week. I'm not sure why. I really enjoyed the exercises in the Artist's Way. I found them a lot more uplifting than week 1 and not as kind of like rooted in the past and rooted in negativity. But maybe it was carryover from week 1. I wasn't in the best mood last week. I was really up and down. I wouldn't say I was in a bad mood. I was just in a mood where I wanted to withdraw and be really reserved. So I didn't vlog at all, but I am back at it today. I've been looking for places on my route where I can set the camera down to vlog. I have certain criteria. I want to see people coming and going. I also don't want to put the camera on anything that could be remotely deemed private property. I don't want to appear to be like suspicious or don't want to get a lot of attention, so it has to be kind of a low traffic area. And I found these, I don't know, they're like things that hug the light posts that are perfect because they're kind of at eye level. It's a really stable platform and I can see people coming from behind me and also in front of me, so I really like this. Hubby worked another 3 overnight shifts and he should be home now. I might take a shorter walk this morning because I might head to Staples a little bit later today to pick up a couple of things that I want for my theme this week, my bullet journal theme. Hey everyone, it is Tuesday and I just got back from Staples. I decided not to go yesterday because I ended up getting enough steps anyway. And once I got home and did morning coffee sessions, I was kind of on a roll with work stuff, so I didn't really want to go out again. And I decided to take a shorter walk this morning. I went to Freshco. Hubby and I have been really into peanut butter chocolate cake. We've been buying the small Reese's Pieces cakes from Freshco. They're kind of like a half-size cake. The total weight is 340 grams. So I mean, there's not that much cake, but we've already bought it twice in the span of, I guess, this week, because we ate one of the little cakes on the weekend and then I went ahead and bought another one today. But I also bought a lot of vegetables and such. I find I'm pretty good with moderation now. So even though I am eating junk food, I can control myself a bit better now and balance it out with healthy food. So the junk food is more of a treat, although lately there's been quite a bit of junk food. But anyway, I didn't get enough steps this morning, so I did have to go back out and I decided to go to Staples, mainly because I needed a silver pen. I decided to do a moon theme for the bullet journal this week. I went through a little bit of difficulties deciding on a theme for this week. So I'm a little bit behind in my bullet journaling, even though it's only Tuesday, but I find I do the setup a few days in advance. So for me, I'm a little bit behind now. I've been really into astrology lately, just looking up the details of my birth chart, and I thought I wanted to do a planet theme. A lot of the planets that I drew ended up looking like cookies, and I just couldn't wrap my head around the theme, so I decided to switch it up, and I was gonna do citrus. So I did a little bit of drawing of citrus, just very like quick and loose drawing, and I really loved the way the theme turned out. I'm definitely going to be doing a citrus theme down the road, but this week the focus of the Artist's Way is on power, recovering a sense of power. And I didn't feel like that fit in with the citrus. I was like, oh, the citrus is so light and fun, but this week I really want something that like packs a punch. So that's when I settled on the moon theme. I've been wanting to learn about the moon phases and the meaning behind them, and a little bit more about the lunar calendar, the impact of the moon phases on energy level and that sort of thing. I've been reading a little bit about that, but I really want to delve into it. It's not going to be a colorful theme, but it's going to be more like black, whites, grays, and silvers, which I also really love, even though I did love, love, love the color of the citrus theme. So that's why I needed the silver pen. So I'm going to be using this along with some black construction paper, and I'm going to cut out certain shapes and such, and I think I'm gonna do it in that way, although I haven't really mapped out the spreads yet. I've penciled in a lot of stuff, but I'm having a bit of trouble with this one. Anyway, I'm gonna continue on with the moon theme. I'm very happy with that theme. This is the Pentel Slicky. It's the 0.08 thickness. Staples was pretty limited in terms of what they had for silver pens, and the only other gel pen that they had was a 1.0 thickness, and I wanted something a little bit thinner. I also bought some paint brushes. I had paint brushes before because I used to do those little paintings. I suspect I may have decluttered them. If not, they might be in the locker somewhere. The quality isn't great on those brushes anyway. I probably got them from the dollar store, so I thought I would just use my Staples gift card to pick up some nicer brushes. They're not super duper nice. I think it was like just under $10 for this pack of 3. They're better than what I had been using before. There are 3 different brushes here, 2 round, 8 round, and 8 square. And then finally I got this. So this is what I'm gonna use to attempt to do watercolors without actually buying watercolors. Watercolors, I've been reading a lot about them because I've been thinking about buying them for probably months now, and I can't decide, and that to me means I'm really on the fence because I don't know if I'm going to be using them going forward. So I don't want to invest a lot in watercolors, but at the same time, the inexpensive watercolors, they say, aren't great at all. If I want to have like a good experience with watercolors, maybe I have to invest a little bit more, but I don't even know if that's going to be something that I'm into long term. I have been thinking about it a lot, but more in the context of just like experimenting with them. So I decided to buy this set of markers. There are 50 markers in here, and this was only around $11. I thought that was really good, and plus my gift card covered everything anyway. The reason I decided to buy these though is because I saw this beautiful planet spread in a bullet journal. The artist had drawn the planet using super tips. So I looked up videos of how people use these markers as watercolors, and it was fascinating. I just found the technique really interesting. It's really affordable. I don't have to use these as watercolors if I decide down the road that watercoloring isn't really for me, and I can use these markers for other applications. I love to color, and I have coloring books that I could use these markers on, so I just thought this was good value all around. I could play around with achieving a watercolor effect with these markers, and I can use them after if I decide watercoloring isn't really for me. I was pretty happy with this purchase. I still have quite a number of Staples gift cards. My aunt buys us these gift cards, and she's given them to us for a lot of different occasions. In the past, I haven't really needed anything, so I've just kind of gathered them up, and it feels so good to use them. I think I'm gonna play with these today because today is my artist date. I've been liking to have my artist date on Tuesday. I'm not sure why that is, but this is the 3rd Tuesday in a row that I'm doing my artist day. It happens to be the day that I have some extra free time. Dinner tonight is going to be stir-fried tofu with honey garlic sauce, some steamed rice, and watercress soup with Chinese chives from my friend's garden. I'm so excited about this dinner. Hubby worked 3 overnight shifts this weekend, and he's finally back to day shifts as of today. He doesn't get off work today and probably tomorrow until around 6 o'clock. So by the time he gets home and is ready to eat dinner, it's usually around 7 by then. I've been trying to finish dinner by 6 p.m. at the very latest. It's 5:20 now. So I already told him that I'm going to go ahead and eat, and then I make him another batch of food when he gets home. So the soup's already ready. Of course, the rice is as well, but I will stir fry the tofu fresh for him when he gets home. And then I basically sit with him while he eats, or I might do the dishes, or I have to brine some chicken. I bought chicken wings again. So this honey garlic sauce that's on the tofu, it's really, really good. And I first discovered this sauce because I made those air fryer chicken wings but hubby loves honey garlic sauce. So I looked up a recipe and now we're hooked. I think I've made the honey garlic recipe 3 times now, and yesterday when I made the wings, I made a double batch of the honey garlic sauce so I could try it with tofu. I've tried the honey garlic sauce on the wings, of course, on turkey, meatballs, and now on tofu. And it's a keeper. I love the recipe. It's on my website, so I will link it down below. I'm gonna have some of the soup. Watercress is probably one of my favorite vegetables. It's so yummy in soup. There's just so much flavor, and I remember really loving this even as a child. I used to like putting a little bit of rice, and then I would put a bit of watercress and a bit of the soup and just have this in a nice spoonful. So good. I love rice with soup, actually, like rice with Chinese soup, or even rice with the broth in instant noodles. Sometimes I'll give hubby more of the noodles because he has a bigger appetite than I do. So I'll share my noodles with him, and then I'll just have a bit of rice on the side with the broth from my instant noodles. It's so good. So yeah, so I'm gonna have this. Yummy. The chives are really good too. It just tastes very light and fresh. I had such a good day today on my artist date. I ended up, what did I do? I played with the watercolors. That was a lot of fun. Let me show you what I did. I actually drew everything in my friend's journal. I have it for the month of June. We're about halfway through now, of course. So here's what I ended up doing. This experiment didn't turn out well. This is when I drew on the paper and tried to blend it. So that, as you can see, is not really blended at all. Then I did this one where I mixed the paints on a little dish, but still I couldn't really get the technique. This one is probably my favorite one. I was trying to draw the moon. This here is like a little gibbous moon. I don't remember if it's waning or waxing. I should know, but I don't. Especially it's like turned around, so I can't tell. And then I started trying to draw planets. Couldn't get the planets to look nice, and I still can't really, but I found that when I put a ring around the circle, it looks a bit better. It looks more like a planet. So maybe when I do the planet theme, I'll do this, and I definitely do want to do like the watercolor technique when I do the planet theme. I just think it looks really pretty. It looks a bit more like a planet than the cookies that I drew. And then this flower, I was just experimenting. I find this is the easiest thing to do when you just draw something very simple and then you color it in with the watercolor technique. It turns out really nice, and it's the easiest rather than trying to do texture and gradients and such. I think the payoff could be beautiful, but I'm just not very good at it yet. I'm gonna keep trying though. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed experimenting with it, and I got to fill out part of my friend's journal as well, so that was really nice. I haven't tried the tofu yet, so let me try the tofu. It's good with the honey garlic sauce. I hope hubby likes it. Hubby used to not like tofu, but he's discovered that he doesn't mind the extra firm one, which is the one that I use to stir fry all the time, but he wouldn't eat it before. I would offer him a piece and he would just refuse. I don't think he likes the texture of soft tofu, but now he will eat this. He doesn't want to eat it all the time. It's not his favorite, but he's not against eating it now. So I think he'll enjoy it. It's really yummy with the honey garlic sauce. I experimented with the watercolors for about an hour, and then I started working on my bullet journal. I wanted to start looking into moon phases and lunar calendars and just planning around that. I didn't get very far. with the journal because I started filling in the stuff that I had penciled in the last few days. So I didn't really get to the research portion. So I'm going to do that a little bit later, probably when hubby's home. But let me show you what I've done so far. So this will be a little sneak peek. And I really loved how the bunny theme turned out. It's probably going to be my favorite one of all the 12 weeks. I know we're only in week 3, but I just love this theme so much. So I think this is the page that I showed you guys before without the color. So here's what it looks like with the color. Oh my gosh, I just love, love, love it. There are a lot of spreads in this week that I am just absolutely in love with. And then this is what I worked on today. So here is the moon theme. This looks really harsh on camera, but in person it looks really pretty. I like it a lot. Maybe I need to put a few more stars, but I'm very happy with this so far. That's basically all I've done. I'm mapping out the next few pages and I'm excited to work on it tonight. We are in Friday once again, and I thought I would end off the vlog. I feel like I have not a lot of clips, but I think I talked a lot in the clips that I do have. These things right here have been taking up so much of my time, the Artist Way program and my bullet journal. I love that I'm combining the two, but it is so time consuming. There are days where I spend 5-6 hours. That of course includes morning pages, it includes doing reflection on the exercises, and it includes laying out the spreads, drawing them in, decorating, and all that jazz. It is quite nice though. It's very almost meditative. By the time I go in to do the spread, I've already done a lot of the thought work behind what I'm writing. So I mean, the actual act of writing in the bullet journal is very meditative, but it is still very time consuming. I have been loving it though, and I'm trying to think what else I could use the bullet journal for. I don't see myself using it as a planner going forward. For me, I really still love my system of planning. You might recall that I use this sort of planner. It's a bit of a mess right now. I print my own planner pages. I really love the way they're laid out, and I don't see myself bullet journaling for my daily planner. But I would like to continue to bullet journal, but maybe if I take another course, I'll use a bullet journal for that. Or maybe if I have a personal project that I want to pursue that would be a good match for the bullet journal, I'll pick up another one of these and do it again. But it's not going to be for my daily planning. I can't quite commit to doing a full year of bullet journaling, and I also don't like to put that much time into my daily planning. I would rather use the bullet journal for self-reflection and for stuff that stands the test of time that I can refer back to for years and years and years, whereas my planning pages, I kind of just set them aside. I still keep them in case I want to refer back, but I can probably count on one hand the number of times in the past like 10-20 years that I've referred back to planner pages. It just doesn't happen very often at all, especially now that I have my website and I'm tracking a lot of stuff digitally. For example, my 101 and 1001 lists and my goals and such, those are all on my website, so I can't really think of anything that I can use a bullet journal for besides self-reflection and maybe another course that's similar to the Artist Way. A bunch of people have recommended that I do the Science of Wellbeing. So that's a course, an online course that I think started off as a course at Yale, and it got adapted for online and it's offered through Coursera. Now I have registered for that course. I actually registered back in 2018, signed up and forgot about it. So I do plan to do that course. One of my friends introduced me to the course way back when, and then since then, one or two other people in my life have recommended it, and at least one of you guys have recommended it as well. So I definitely do plan to do that, and maybe when I do that, most likely in the fall, I will do another bullet journal for that particular course. But I want to look at the outline again and see if there's enough content to fill up a bullet journal, and maybe I am liking this bullet journal. There is a lot of ghosting, tons of ghosting, but no real bleeding or anything like that. You can tell on these pages there's a lot of ghosting. You can see what I wrote on the pages on the other side. I don't actually mind it that much. I really love the color of the pages. I love the sound of the pages flipping. I really do like this journal a lot. The one thing that I don't like about it, it's kind of a huge pet peeve, is some of the pages are glued together, so they don't lay flat. So you can probably see these pages are glued together, and I tried to kind of like separate them because they were really glued high up on the page. So I tried to separate them, but there's only so much you can do. The rest of the pages lay flat. It's only when they try to bind like two sections that are stitched together separately that this happens. So that's one thing about the book that I don't really like. I actually love spiral bound notebooks, so maybe I can look to see if there's a spiral bound notebook that catches my eye. But other than that, I really do love this journal, and I would definitely buy this again for bullet journaling. I still have to test out how my watercolors work on it. We'll save that for another day. Maybe when I do my planet theme, or maybe a plant theme, because I feel like plants look really beautiful when they're colored in with the watercolors that I have. So I think I'm going to end off the vlog here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any ideas on what I could use a bullet journal for besides annual planning, I would love to hear down below. I have tried doing a bullet journal style for my manifestation journal. I didn't love that. So I think it would have to be a time limited something or other, either a personal project or a course. So if you guys have any suggestions, I'd love to hear them down below. No real rush on this because I'm still in week 3 of a 12-week program. And maybe by the end of the 12-week program, I won't want a bullet journal for a while. I'll need a break or something. But right now on week 3, towards the tail end of week 3, I'm still very excited about bullet journaling. I love doing the different themes and learning about stuff. I've been on a very spiritual kick lately, but maybe I'll talk about that more in the next vlog because this one's probably rather long. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys are doing great. I'll be back very soon with another video, and I will see you guys then. Bye!